All right, hello everyone, and welcome to a new video. If you're new here, my name is Mohammed. We continue our training and preparation for Elastic Certified Engineer exam, and today we will discuss a new topic. We are going to explore metric and bucket aggregation, and we see how we can benefit. So metric aggregation or metric aggregations help us to summarize numerical data, like calculating the average or total, while bucket aggregation group or bucket aggregations group our document into meaningful categories or ranges. Right. Before we jump to our environment, let's jump to the documentation first and see what we have. So this is a definition from Elastic about the metric aggregation. This is what it's mean. And if you if you Google metric or metrics aggregations, Elasticsearch is will redirect you here. Again, another time you have to get comfortable with the documentation because you are allowed to use it during the exam or even like in your work. So you gotta be comfortable with it. So for the metric, as you can see, or for the metrics aggregation, we have a lot of or we have a different type of metrics aggregation. So for example, average. So here, as the name is, calculate the average. If you see here a mean, max, and so on and so forth. So you need to be comfortable with all of them. You don't need to learn the syntax because you are allowed to access to it, or to the documentation, but you need to understand how it works, and like this you will be able to do it during the exam, or to find it quickly during the exam, right? So let's jump to our environment. So we go here to discover, and here I open my data e-commerce view or index, and we're gonna use it during our exam, right? So let's take an example before we jump to our DSL queries. Let's see how we can create a bucket aggregation, or let's explain what's the bucket aggregation. So we have this, and let's say I want to create a bucket based on the, let me also remove this one. 1 second. Yes, let me remove this one and just keep the days, right? So as you can see, we have here this field, right? So it's a day of week, and we can like here create so here we can create a bucket for every week. So this is bucket A, bucket B, bucket C, and so on and so forth. So this buckets contain the days, right? So this is Saturday, this is Sunday, this is Monday, and so on and so forth. Like here, the bucket, we're gonna group our data based on the day of the week, right? Instead of having one bucket contain all the index or all the data, here we will split it in small buckets, and each bucket contain day of week, right? So here we have this. So if we want to create a visualization based on this mean bucket, so we click on visualize, and here it redirects us to lens, and here we see how we create, or here it's create a bucket for our document. So if I want to go to table, for example, I can create here a table. If I add more, as you can see here, in Thursday, this is the number of orders we get, in Friday and Thursday, and so on and so forth, right? So if we want to do something similar to it in or using the DSL queries, how we can do that. So I will keep this open. I will just duplicate it and go to DevTools, right? And here, let me remove this one. I don't need it. Perfect. So get as usual, and we call first the index. So here is e-commerce, and here we will call the search endpoint. Go to the new line. So size, because we don't need to get any document in the result. We want just to create a bucket or return a bucket. So for this reason, we will call aggs or aggregations. For the search, if you remember, we used to use search like that. We used to use query, sorry. So query and put the query inside, but this time we will use aggregations. We don't need search query. But during the exam or during your work, you need to use both of them. Like you need to combine between the two to get the better results, right? In this scenario, in this stage, we need just to use the aggregation, right? So here we give it a name, or we call it, for example, day of week, for example, and here we have the type of the aggregation, right? So here I will, for example, use a date histogram, and here the field I will look for the fields. Let me go back to Discover. Here we go. If I open one document, what I have here, do I have a date field? Okay, I have order date, or I have day of week, right? So since I used date histogram, I should use a field as a date type. So here I have order date. If I copy paste it here, and the interval, I can put hours here, days, seconds, and so on and so forth. So you run, and here is the output, right? So this is the aggregations. So this is the bucket. So it creates a bucket per day. Like every day we have buckets, right? Now, if I want to do what I did here, this one. So I did this and click visualize, and here, for example, I choose here table. Right, if I want to do this the same, so I did another request, right? So I call it call Kibana e-commerce, then search endpoint, right? I open size 0. We don't need any outputs, we just need to create a bucket. Here I call ags or aggregation, and here I will give it a name, or I will give the name or the same of week, for example, and here I give terms, and here I choose the field, which is this field, what is day of week. Okay, I cannot copy it. 1 second. So I will do day. Yes, here we go, day of week. So if I run, and here I get the output. Let's move to another example. So I like here we specify or we said we can use the metric aggregation. So like the max, the mean, and like let's use now the sum as an example, right? And this is this is the syntax, right? So let's we in our case, or in our example, we're gonna use the sum of tax full total price. So let's see this field. I will search for tax full total price. Yeah, so I will calculate the sum of, let me remove this one, we don't need it for now. Yes, this one, right? Here we go. Let's create a bucket for this one, or let's run the query. So how it will go, it will be like this: get Kibana e-commerce and the endpoint search, then we open brackets, size as usual 0, and here we will call the ags, and here the name we will call it total revenue, for example, revenue, and here we will go with a sum, and here the field, and here we will tax full total price, right? So if we run, and here we go, here we get our total revenue, right? So you can do it like this, or this is the easiest way, or you can come here to the total price, and you click and you create a visualization, and it should return the same example. Let's pick another aggregation. Let's use the average, right? So get, right, Kibana and search, right? So I don't like it. Let me just do this. Perfect. So here size 0, we don't need any document. I just need to see the buckets, args, and here name we call it, for example, average discount, right? The type we will call average, and the field, and here we give the field. So the field we're supposed to find it here. So if we search for discount, here we go, this one. As I can see from here, all of them are zeros, and this will not help us, right? So let's calculate, or let's say any other let's see any other field that contain a number, right? So this day of the week, no. There we go. Base price, units. There we go. No, not this one. Yeah, let's use total quantity. Right, so let's use total quantity. So if we come here and type it, and here it's return the average of total quality or quantity from all the customers. So total quantity, for example. Here we go. We get to the end of this video. This is the few examples that I provide. Feel free to go back to the documentation. There is a lot of examples here you need to get comfortable with, and here the matrix aggregation that you need to learn. Let me know in the comment section if you have any question. With that being said, I will see you in the next video.